Thank you. You are a physicist. You put full physics into quantum mechanics. Come, all the items. Now we are all eagerly waiting to hear General. General needs, of course, no introduction. He was a very successful head of India's proud army, and he was a Minister of External Affairs when I first met him. And he is now Minister for one of the most important portfolios, road and highways. Now, road and highways also is a huge employer, huge thing for academics, because making road is a big affair. And now with electric vehicle coming, there is so much of others upgradation, so much of others. Supporting transportation is a big field. You name any field, we cannot go up and down without transportation. And I'm sure he has got a lot of things to tell in our concluding valedictory session. General V.K. Singh.
Thank you very much, Shekhar. Let me, first of all, applaud and acknowledge all the academicians, thinking people, all people from the field of education who want to ensure that education becomes something which will yield results, not the way it has been going on, who want a change. And all the, I can see that almost 400 people have been participating in this. You have had deliberations for 3 days. I sincerely want to congratulate each one who has attended this and each one who has organized this. I think it is a very great initiative because education is considered a boring subject. Unfortunately, we have paid some thought to it, but generally it has been more of a lip service. And when I was hearing both Ujjwal and Dr. Roop Manjari and the, the head of IIMs and others, I still who have that passion to take educational field forward. I think we have made a beginning in terms of trying to change over from what the colonial masters gave. We have made a beginning in trying to think as to what could be a new education system. It may not be perfect. We can from it. We can make it better. And all this will come when we are with it and we examine it. I I would also say that I like the way uh, Ujjwal described the student and the teacher, a learner and a mentor. I think that's the apt definition for these two. I'll go back years when I was in school, and I remember one of my teachers whom we used to consider very good, and we said, in a residential school. I think there the association is different. And we asked this teacher, sir, how can we become good teachers? And I was surprised at his answer. And his answer was, if you are a bad, I really appreciated what about what education should be. Because if our aim and get a government job or do something else, I think has to be something which is wider, something which allows you to ensure that you produce of educational institutions enlightened human beings, a human being whose personality has been developed to fit in where own talent and capability takes him. I I think we have been what the policies of education should do. They should convert into some achievable goals for everybody. See, it's okay to lay down a policy, and now I'm totally looking at it from a militaristic way of thinking. You can have a policy, but if you don't have achievable goals, how do you achieve it? You can flounder around. You are not going to get get the things. That is why you find a lot of our students who Probably a lot of educational institutions today say they're not very good. When they go abroad, they do extremely well. Why is that so? I think it needs to be examined. We need to look at it from the point of view, if this student who was being considered bad out here, who is not scoring well in the system that we have had, how did he get accepted by the best institutions, so-called best institutions in the world? Because they offered him the type of environment and the type of academic freedom and the type of interaction with his peers which allowed him to actually take his talent out. Now, I think that is what is needed. The educational institutions need to look at this holistic development of the person who enters that educational institution. We need to give him many options. Don't restrict. I think slowly you will find as to what is his actual talent. Otherwise, you don't come to know the talent of a person when you get confine him to some narrow confines. Okay, you are into this and you are into this. Yes, the system can be very taxing. I remember when BITS took the curriculum from MIT and they said, well, okay, you enroll for electronics, but after ultimately that student passed out as a pharmacist. It created huge emotional problem because the student was not prepared. But then over a period of 5 years, that student got pushed into something in which he was actually good at. Now, I think in our thing where we are used to a different way of things, where I think every parent wants the child to be a very good doctor, a very good so and so, and very good so and so. This system is going to create chaos in the whole thing. But till the time that chaos doesn't come, I don't think we will progress. I'll uh, I'll take a uh, again analogy to say that you need a foundation course, whatever classes you want to or grades you want to put it in, you can put it. This foundation course should be such that it builds a foundation for future learning. It gives you enough skills of various subjects so that you are then able to explore the other this thing. Then you should come to a preparatory phase where you provide the skills and polish the talents of that learner so that he is able to tackle various challenges and works that may come his way. And then you have people who will become masters of subjects, experts in a different manner. Maybe I think we will be able to achieve education which a lot of people envy at times and say, oh, I need to go to university abroad because that's Ivy League and that's good. Why is it good? Because they provide the learner enough opportunities to open his mind, to explore, to experiment, to catch on things by which he becomes good and not keep getting guided, do exam. Okay, I've attained so many marks and that is it. And I think in the process, these days, a lot of people keep getting heart attacks because the children are not getting 99%. I don't think that is important. What is important is a child, a student as he grows up, is able to absorb the type of interaction that he has with the mentors and academicians. He is able to be guided to read, to explore, to experiment, to innovate. That's the crux of education, I think, where we'll be able to produce better people. I'll very shortly, I'll just explain what a small system of education that we follow in the army. When a person gets commissioned into the army, we have a preparatory course. We call it the young officers course, or there the basic skills of leading, basic knowledge of the weapon systems that he will have is imparted to him. Then the skills and the talent, he is able to He goes to a specialist course. He's very good in other things. He's channelized to do that so that you can see what he will achieve out there. Then you have uh, various examinations that are done. There are certain promotion exams. And mind you, I think the army does these only to ensure that you don't leave the habit of studying and reading. Uh, Normal tendency is to think that the armed forces, once you get in, you don't require to read any book. I think I have read more books as in the army than what I would probably have done otherwise. You have various phases of training courses which are designed. So after this preparatory, one is to be a good leader, and last stage is you are encouraged to question your doctrines. You are told you question it. Why is it so? Why do you have to do it this way? Why can't you do it the other way? Why can't you do it the other way? You are an enlightened person, a better enlightened officer, a better enlightened soldier. You are able to then lead people properly, look for new technologies, garner more information to make your organization better. And it is now equally applicable to any other educational institutions that you may go to. Another point that was brought out again was the system must be suited to our needs. You take the example of hockey, we were very good on grass. Excellent. Nobody could beat us. The Japanese said, let's examine the hockey stick and the ball Dhyan Chand has, it must be having a magnet. So they changed the rules. Now you had to actually compete with their rules against them, and you kept losing out.
Mhm.
So your system ensure that these conditions are ones which will yield results. I'm sure very learned people are here, and for a very long time we have spoken of India as a IT hub. For want of a better name, I'll say we were known as software experts, and everywhere you went abroad, people said, "Oh, India, you people are very good." How many apps have we produced? Take today, take the youngsters today. Most of us are using apps which have been produced in China. I mean, we had a time when Samir Bhatia started the Hotmail. He made a big name for himself. What happened thereafter? People are working, but what are they actually doing? Why is it? Why is this happening? I think we need to examine it. We need to look at it critically. Is it a failure as part of our institutions, or is it a failure of the way we have brought up our people? I think this must form part of a backdrop of whatever thinking we must do. And lastly, I'll say that NEP into achievable goals with, to make our institutions good. Let's not compare our institutions by what the standards outside are. I think we have to devise our own standards. The collaboration, diversity, and ensuring that we are able to work with others in the world. I mean, I think all the people who are in various universities would know that most of the US universities today want somebody else in the world to collaborate with them. They want to send their students out. Then why? They want them to understand how the rest of the world thinks. They want them to understand how the rest of. I think as time is coming when we need to look at things totally differently. And my feeling of hearing of what has been done in these last 3 days is a very encouraging panel discussions that have been held. Let's now put our heads and shoulders together and come up with something that will be really good to make India great.